On the way, South Africa's top dancer, two-time world dance champion. My goodness, I'm in the company of royalty right here. Paul Modjadji is coming up. We're going to be talking about him, this and that, the trip and everything else, and also get him to show me a couple of dance moves. We've set up our cameras in the studio. If I embarrass, we shall erase every trace of that embarrassing moment. Oh, he's here, folks. He is here. Oh, yes. Paul, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Georgie. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute, like the longest minute ever.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, you walked in and you walk like you dance. Has anybody ever told you that?
I get that a lot.
All right.
I do.
People sleepwalk. Do you sleep dance sometimes?
I think I sleep talk. Funny enough.
Oh, really?
I've been told quite more than enough times that I sleep talk.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now with these cell phones now, has anybody ever recorded you and then you heard yourself sleep? It's amazing to have you here, man.
Thank you for having me.
So the dance moves, tell me. We were talking about me being left-footed and you're like, no, seriously, I can't dance anymore. But your dance moves,
sure.
Are there any that you come up by yourself or it's somebody teach you? What happens with the moves?
I'm inspired by music. I mean, I don't know how people choreograph without listening to music. I know choreographers that do, because we all have different processes. But for me, music has always led me.
Okay.
You know? So, and in that way, I think music and dance are really intertwined in that way for me. So music, for me, I think it's like storytelling, you know? You're really trying to shape, to color a story with movement.
Okay. Now you're talking about a story. Yeah. So that means a story has got a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Absolutely.
So that means when you go on stage, they have to be in a specific way. The choreography.
Absolutely.
But see, the thing is, when you don't do it in a certain way, now we don't know. But when now you know, I missed a full stop. Does it ever happen to you?
It does. All the punctuations have to be absolutely there.
Yeah.
The coordination has to be right. To a point where most people, Georgie, can actually even tell. You don't need to be a dancer. I mean, I'm sure you think you are that far off on the left side.
I'm very far. I'm very far.
Of dancing.
Yeah.
But trust me, most people to the naked eye can tell when dancing is not in sync with music, perhaps.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what about this dance moves itself? From moving from this dance to that dance.
Sure.
Dance A to dance B.
Yeah.
But when you skip B and you go to C, does that sometimes happen that you miss a step and we don't know? Yeah.
It absolutely does. And a lot of the times it feels off. It's like if you're telling a story or you're introducing a segment and you miss a little bit of information, you're like, this doesn't add up. So you want to kind of go back and rectify it. So does happen. But a lot of the times as a professional, you learn to keep the show moving because moments lost sometimes can often be recaptured.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Good music, good friends, Kaya FM 95.9. Paul Modjadji, two-time world dance champion. World dance champion? When you started, right, is this where you wanted to be or you just wanted to be a dancer because you just love dancing and suddenly, the world dance champion is just a bonus? What's the story
That caught
here?
me off guard. It really did. I've always wanted to dance to like the highest level, but I've always thought I'd always be standing behind like a Janet Jackson, right at the back, like the third line, fourth line.
Like, there he is there.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. That was good enough for me. But I think when I definitely was crowned the first time as a world dance champion, something inside of me was reawakened. It was definitely a position I'd never imagined. That a young boy from Hammanskraal that grew up in a community where there were no arts facilities, that was told when I started dancing I was too old to start dancing.
Yeah.
Would ever one day be like the best in the world.
They told you were too old? How
at 16.
old?
At 16, I was told, listen,
you
can have a career, but just pace yourself.
Okay.
Take it easy.
So you started at 16, but
formally.
Oh, formally.
So I've been
but
dancing.
when did you start?
I've been dancing my entire life. And, I get asked that question a lot. And sometimes for me, it's very hard to sort of really address because I also feel that a lot of black kids dance. You know, we dance at family festivities. We dance
everywhere.
We dance everywhere. So for me, it didn't feel like it was something really, you know, that I needed to stop and say, it's like starting soccer where you're like, I started playing soccer at 8 years old. It's been a part of my memories for as long as I can remember.
Okay, all right. And family support in terms of dancing, were they like, no, dude, you're wasting your time here. Come and do something else that's productive.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I've had to pay my dues. I mean, my father, you know, bless his soul.
Yeah.
He got to a point where he was so sick and tired of fighting with me about this dancing thing that he gave me an ultimatum. He said, I will support you if you promise to not play around. So if you're going to do this, you have to do it excellently. You have to go all the way. And you have to, like, the moment I see that you're slacking or that you're one of those guys smoking at the corner, it's done. You're going to be a lawyer. You're going to get into business. You're going to do something formal.
And he had to be serious because he didn't want to be a lawyer,
I had no ultimatum. For me, I couldn't just go in and test the waters.
Yeah.
I had to go straight for it.
Good music, good friends. Kaya FM 95.9. It's Paul Modjadji. We're going to be talking about backstage and everything else and the White House. Dude, you were in the White House. And also going to be teaching me one or two dance moves and challenge me to some stretches.
Yeah,
I can stretch.
Oh, you can stretch.
Oh yeah, I've been warming up. So we're gonna be chatting about that. Paul Modjadji is my guest today on Georgie in the afternoon. We're talking dancing. We are talking about his trip to the States. We are talking about this and that. Before we talk about the White House, backstage. How did you end up on backstage? Was that your first major
That
gig?
actually was. Yeah, back here at home. And it's a funny story because I'd spent a year in Denmark where I was doing my dance foundation course, and I came back home and I registered with TUT, and in the second year they were revamping backstage and looking for my second year back here at home at TUT. ETV made a call out saying that they were revamping backstage and looking for a new cast to join the team, and I went for auditions and I got in. And luckily, my father was kind enough to say, look, you go to school to kind of do this. And if you feel that you're ready and, you've always wanted to be on the show, go for it. And that was the beginning of, bigger things.
All right.
Yeah.
Backstage, White House. You didn't go into the White House via the back door. Right there. There you were, White House. How was it being there? And how did that come about?
Well, through the Mandela Washington Fellowship Program, actually, which is an absolutely fantastic program. What it does is that it seeks to basically empower. It's an educational program. People think that it's about just going in there and shaking the president's hand and, having a job, but it's actually a 2 months rigorous.
Selfies.
Exactly, taking selfies, None of that. Absolutely. It's a leadership, mentorship, and educational program where we get sent to basically go and upscale, ourselves in some of the stuff that we do. I was there as a civic leader because I run a foundation called the Leaders Who Dare to Dream Foundation, where we make arts accessible to young kids in townships, and that got me into the program. So for 2 months, we had to sit down and think about how we were going to impact our continent and effect change. And essentially, create the Africa that we all want to see and be part of. So it was quite rigorous. We're talking policy making. We're talking how we're taking down the borders down in Africa so that Africa is united as young.
So you had to know your story.
You had to kind of be like, well, I mean, you are around people that definitely are the best in Africa. Absolutely.
Yeah. So in your community, you've got a dance school.
Yeah.
Are the kids taking it up? Because, sometimes, especially guys, maybe they don't want to be seen carrying a bag, going to that gym to dance.
Sure.
How has it been, the reaction from
it's been absolutely
the guys
fantastic
in the neighborhood?
It really has been fantastic. 5 years ago, we began with our first classes, and 5 years this year in September. This will be our 6th year actually in September this year that we've been running the program. We have had amazing results. Some of our students have been as far as China and Europe, and one of the beneficiaries is at TET this year doing his second year. So it's been fantastic to know that we could ignite that interest and show them that they can actually take it further.
You've been a game changer because, without all these activities, you don't know what our kids can, get themselves involved in,
And it's a huge challenge, Georgie, speaking of our kids, because, I often say that until we go back into our townships and engineer the way our townships are structured, we'll always have issues with young kids being exposed to alcohol at a very young age and drug abuse and substance abuse because kids don't have enough facilities to engage them.
That's it.
Yeah, and every other corner street there's like a tavern. So that can be luring. It really can be.
Good music, good friends. Kaya FM 95.9. So, you are a choreographer, writer, entrepreneur, official brand ambassador of the city of Tshwane. Last year, Barack Obama honored you with the Mandela Washington Young African Leaders Award. Yeah, you're on backstage. You are going back to the States?
Yes, I am.
When are you going back to the States?
Tonight. So from here...
Wait a minute. You go tonight? And what is this trip all about?
So I was invited by the South African Freedom Committee.
Yeah.
Every year they've got a series of events that they, organize, and in honor and commemoration of our freedom. And this year they have basically identified me as one of the young South African artists that they wanted to have come through and engage with, the masses that will be there. First of all, on Saturday for the picnic, and then there's a gala dinner, and there's a school tour where we go into schools talking about South Africa and its democracy. So it's quite a fantastic trip.
It's taking you places. I think I need to start dancing myself as well. And I don't want anybody telling me that I'm too old. No, never too old.
Never ever too old at all, Georgie. But we shall see how you do later on today.
Yes, we shall catch that on our video there. Keeping My Core Intact.
Yes.
That's your book.
Yes.
All right. When did you write this book? When was it published?
It was published, the writing of the book began in 2006, actually. And we only released the book in 2012. So it took 7 years to put together.
Wow.
And it's out there right now. People can get it on Kalahari and on all their online bookstores. And it basically chronicles one of Soweto's business giants, Adelaide Modjadji. Her story from being a young girl from Soweto who comes from a very poverty-stricken home with alcohol as a huge challenge in the family to rise into becoming the business icon that she has. So it's a very inspirational book.
All right,
it really is.
Great stuff, man. She's still living?
She's still living.
Okay.
She's still living, and she does a lot of talks. She continues to inspire
young people. What does she say about the book?
She is quite inspired. I mean, she is. I was talking today that I don't think I know anyone who is as good at selling as she is. Because her book is sold at funerals, at weddings, at conferences.
Are you kidding me? All right. No, absolutely. So it's not about dancing, but it's just about an inspiring story, an inspirational story.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
The book is called Keeping My Core Intact. Sure. All right. My core is intact because I do a lot of leg raises, I do a lot of sit-ups, and I do a lot of stuff. Okay, so you're going to show me a couple of dance moves. You're going to challenge me to some stretches and see if I can do them.
Okay.
All right. So we will do that to this song. And this song is called Stateless. The song is by Stateless. It's called A Fall Into You. Here we go.
I really don't
Oh my gosh, that's what this one. How are you getting to go? So embarrassing. Are you cool? This guy's going to say, man, listen to that music. I bet you like it.
fall into you. I used to be so sad and blue, but now I fall into you. I fall into you. But now I fall into you. But now I fall into you. I fall into you.
One, scratch. One, okay. It's called scratch. Scratch. So you're gonna go open, open,
.9 Kaya FM.
I will rate him an 8. Good 8, not bad. Thank you. Not bad.
You see, I'm not even breathless. I am not even breathless after all that. You know,
You were born for this.
I think I was born for this.
Absolutely born for this.
Bongi, the lady who does our videography, she's actually breathless from taking the video. You know what I'm saying? That's how good I am. All right.
Yeah, and I scored you an 8. I mean, 8 is not bad.
It's not bad,
right?
eh? Maybe you were just being too kind. Because now, when we put up that video, maybe somebody else is going to come and say, no, guys, listen, 8 is a bit too far-fetched.
I did say the next time I come in, I'm in my tracks. Because today you saw I had limitations.
Yeah. No, you are dressed for the trip to the States, so we do understand, you know. Now I understand why you are dressed like that. Hey, listen, tell me about the movie. What is it called again?
Hear Me Move.
Hear Me Move.
Yeah.
This is the first ever African
dance film.
Dance
Made for
film.
cinema dance film.
Yeah, because most of them we consume them from the States.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So this is the first time we have a dance film that's mainstream, that's going into cinemas from the continent that basically celebrates dance as a culture.
Wow.
So
It's going to be amazing because the ones from the States, it's all Western inspired.
Absolutely.
So I would really love to see something that is got, African dance inspired.
No, you definitely should.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So you are starring in it?
Choreographed it rather.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
You're not starring in it.
I'm not starring in it. I thought it would be lovely to step back and dedicate all the attention towards ensuring that we tell this amazing story.
Okay, all right. And when is it coming out?
It's out actually, so it's now out on DVD, so people can get it on DVD because it's already out of cinemas. We are heading for our US release date this year, October.
All right. No,
Yeah.
congratulations, man.
Awesome.
Congratulations. I wish I could come with you because I hear you're going to Zimbabwe.
Yeah,
The dance scene in Zimbabwe is
booming.
Is
right
booming?
now. Like right now, Zimbabwe is the place to be.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to embarrass them.
It really is an amazing place to be. I'm heading on what is called the Modjadji Africa Dance Tour this year.
Yeah.
Where I'll be visiting just a little over 10 African countries.
Yeah.
Ensuring that, we promoting dance as a culture, we're doing dance clinics and empowering young people to see that there's more to dance than just that street corner little dance.
Yeah. There's more to it. You can make a career out of it. It can be very, very successful. It can take you all over the world just as it
we're
is
looking
taking
forward to
Paul
going
over.
to them, and I'm hoping, Georgie, you'll join us when we're there,
I'm hoping so. Then I can show you around.
Yeah.
I can show you around,
absolutely.
Yeah. Bazobe kuhleba lapha, wanting to overcharge you in US dollars. I'll be there. So, I can understand, Shona.
Hold up.
No,
Yeah.
thanks a lot, man. That's Paul Modjadji, South Africa's top dancer. And enjoy your trip to the States as well.
Thank you.
Okay, great stuff.